Alright guys, today we are back to building Viewer Loadout, and this episode is going to be for Vemix, who has given us a very interesting task, and overall, I think this loadout looks unbelievably good. So to cover off what the request was, Vemix has a budget of $2,500, did mention that it can increase if needed to make things happen, but this one actually comes under budget. The one note he mentioned was that he wanted an autotronic knife, preferably on an M9, butterfly, or karambit. And then the actual theme itself is red with white and silver. The primary focus of his budget is going to be on the 7 main weapon skins, which means we don't have to overspend too much on the filler. Now let me stop waffling and just show you this cracking loadout. You can see I took his request for an autotronic, as I have to, and it looks fantastic. This is a minimal wear M9 bayonet autotronic, which runs you about $1,265, and I've paired it with minimal wear Crimson Web specialist gloves, and honestly you can see here $590 you're getting specialist, which is the best type of glove, and minimal wear with clean knuckles, clean markings. Maybe you're going to get a little bit of wear on the thumb, yeah, still a little bit of wear on the thumb, but for an $1,855 combination for the red and silver vibe that he wants, this is fantastic. Very clean. It's not that bright flashy sort of chaos, but it's very clean. And just to note, if you wanted to go over budget, for an extra $110, you can get a field tested butterfly autotronic. But personally, I think the M9 looks a bit better. But you guys, let them know in the comments down below. Would you go for the M9 bayonet, or would you go for the butterfly? Now, for the CT agent, I am going for good old Ricksaw again. $11.50 at the time of planning. Again, biggest reason is his sleeves are rolled up, which means they don't clash with the gloves. And then on T side, you get a kind of interesting pick, because I'm going to go for Rez in the red shirt. $4.71. It's a little bit interesting because obviously you do get this kind of, I'm forgetting the word for that color. I'm going to call it like grayish sleeve on the left, beige gray, and then you get the red on the actual sleeve on the right, which then pairs into the glove. But whenever you're using weapons, I know it's T side and I've got a CT weapon, but the actual color up into the gloves is not red. If you want for red in the ready, pricing is very similar. You get the change to the sleeve here being red, but then whenever it's actually holding a knife and glove, I don't think it looks as good. So, combo sorted, we've covered the agent, weapon skins. USP, I'm going to go for the traitor. Now, kill confirmed is also in consideration, but I think the traitor for this red with silver accents, I know there's gold there as well, I think it just fits the bill a bit more. It fits like the autotronic vibe more as well, in my opinion, because it's white, not so much silver, but it's this really nice red base. It's got some white accents around it. It's also got the gold, and it's got a little bit of blue in there too. Now, the Glock has one really strong option here, and it's the candy apple. The good news is, it's clean as hell, it's factory new, and it'll run you 75 cents. Water elemental exists too, but that brings bully into the equation, and I know it did in the USP as well, but it brings a bit too much bully into the equation. The Desert Eagle pick is really nice. You can get the code red in the minimal wear for about $30, and obviously this is a red skin with the silver accent, so it is absolutely hit the nail on the head for him. And then outside of the knife and glove combo, the focal point of the inventory really is the AK-47, and the Bloodsport, I think, offers what you're after, because we can argue all day whether this is a red or orange skin. I have confirmation. It's a red skin with orange lines in it, and there's actually some science behind it. Depending on which color your eyes pick up more, you will see this as more orangey or more red. Also, your monitor settings can change it, so be mindful of that. But this also gets that white and silver accent, and also it's got a bit of gold on it. So, I mean, you could try and pick one up in higher float if you want, so that the color sort of dulls down a little bit, but flat out, $150 max for this. I think it's the AK you have to run with. And I do want to point out, some people have put the Orbit Mark 1 into consideration here, and it is a good AK. I do like it, but the price difference, or like such a cheap AK and such a big loadout, it feels odd. On the M4 side of things, I'm going to go for a Cyrex. Hot Rod, just not worth the money, and I'm not going to be suggesting it. And what I like here is the red accents are really nice. You get it in factory new for $38.60, and it's going to look clean across the board. Then we have the Hellfire, which is another one I'm confident fits really nicely for this loadout. This one's also going to be factory new, which is about $54. Again, red base, red accent. You've got a little Raging Devil on it, and then again, it's white, not silver. But overall, color scheme-wise, I think this is really nice. Now, I have two ops, and this marks the end of prioritizing the budget into the 7 main skins. However, there's going to be a bit of an asterisk for that. We've got the op Wildfire. Now, $83.95 for this. You're not going to be getting into the conversation of the likes of a Prince, so this is ultimately the max budget you should be spending on an op. and the Wildfire looks pretty good. If, however, that silverish vibe is something you wanted, the Chrome Cannon does have a lot of red, and then obviously it's got this bit that sort of changes color and gets crazy lighting effects. So it's $80 for minimal wear as well. So really just take whichever op you prefer, and you're laughing, really. Now, before I get on to the controversial pick, I just want to mention, if you're wondering how you can get involved for these viewer loadout building videos, you can get involved by being in the Discord, which is linked down below. And just a reminder that YouTube members do get priority for getting features. So Vemix recently became a YouTube member, and he basically got to skip the queue for this one. So very nice. However, I'm not sure if he'll be saying the same after he sees the MP9, because I am going to spend our second most expensive weapon skin to get the MP9 Hot Rod. Now, my hear me out for this is because you will actually use the MP9 a decent amount in Counter-Strike 2. The CT economy is horrible. You're going to be getting this out. It's red with black and some silver accents. It can be very clean, and I think it's one, as long as the market is like stable, the price for this should only go up slowly. So I know you said the 7 main skins. I'm going to make it 8 and include this. I did follow though for the Mac 10. I went for the Candy Apple again because 18 cent for factory new for this is such a no-brainer pick. If, however, you liked my MP9 idea and you want to spend for the Mac 10 as well, I got you. Because you can fuck around and get a red filigree, which is over $100, or basically is $100 bang on. It's a lot of money for what you get, but if you wanted to, it's there as an option. Now, I recently spent a lot of time waffling about the P250 Mortos and how much I like it. But Battle Scarred, I love the black accent it gets on it. $5.85 Battle Scarred when I planned this one. I think it's worth the pickup. I do have alternative gloves as well, but I'm going to wait till the end to show those. Now, because the budget's so high, I do spend a decent little bit on some of these skins because it works. So, Hemoglobin for the Joe Brettas, for example, you see them here, $8.70 factory new, but when you want red with silver accents, this is flat out the jewelries you should be going for. Meanwhile, on the likes of the 5.7, you can get an Urban Hazard factory new for $1.60, which means really nice value for money. It's got that urban camo pattern and a really nice glossy red on the top. And while we still live in a world of not really having a true red Gale skin, the Firefight at least is heavy silver and then this orangey red. So this one isn't perfect, but blame Valve for not giving us many good red Gale skins. We do have the Valence for the Famous, $2.75. Again, this one's a bit orangey, but it is also red, and then it's like, I'm going to say black and silverish grey as the other colours. Have a nice little vibe on the Mag 7, because you've got the petroglyph, it's got that little turtle guy just chilling on it as well. Black BS, you got these white accents with some red as well. You're not breaking the bank, and it fits in quite nicely to the loadout. I did end up spending a bit on the XM, a bit more than I would have wanted to, but the seasons didn't really work. I've decided to go Heaven Guard, $9.22. This one's probably a bit hefty. You guys can shout at me if you want, but I think it works. The Take 9's another one where you kind of get the joy of one option, and it's going to be the Isaac. It runs you $4 for minimum wear. It is a pretty clean skin, though. It's giving Asimov vibes, but like black and red. I was quite happy with the AUG option, though, because you get this Seed Mead, Side Mead, whatever way you want to pronounce it. It's $3.75 for this. There's a significant amount of red. There's also silver with, again, yellow accents in it. So that is a fairly common theme that you'll find across some CS skins. Now, in hindsight, maybe the Cyberforce is the play for the SG, but when I planned it, I was like, I really like the Darkwing. I like how it blends the colours from this neutral into this fiery red at the bottom, and it's 73 cent minimal wear. Saying that, the Cyberforce will also be a little bit cheaper, so if you did want it, looking at it now, again, the red, the black, the white, and a little bit of yellow, probably fits the bill a bit more. And then for the Scout, it does have some blue accents, but I thought the Xeno works quite well because red accents, plus it's this mix of white, grey, and like blacky silver with glitter on it. So interesting effect, and minimal wear runs you $1.13, which means the total cost of this loadout is $2,418. So we actually come $82 under budget, which means you've got $82 to go through crafts on the key weapon skins that you want to. And as I mentioned, there are some upgrades in there. You could go less on the MP9, or you could spend more on the Mac 10, but I think what I've shown is the best option. The alternative gloves that I mentioned would have been minimal wear Scarlet Shams, which are actually cheaper than the minimal wear Crimson Webs, and which is kind of surprising because sports gloves, they are incredibly clean. While I personally think these would look better with a lot of the weapon skins, and this is a good example, I do think when it comes to the combo, the Crimson Webs work better with the Autotronic than the Scarlet Shams do. But I just wanted to suggest that as an option, just so we've covered everything for you, Vemix. So, that rounds up the loadout. coming on the budget for once, which is really nice. And if you weren't aware already, we do 2 viewer loadout and build out videos every single month. So make sure you're in the Discord whenever I ask for the request of what you guys want. And if you want to speedrun it, like Vemix did, become a YouTube member. You can find out more of that down below. Thank you to all the current YouTube members, by the way. I think we've now ticked off everyone that is a member for a loadout building video. At least it is in the Discord and able to provide me with what is needed. So I said that one, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hit the like button if you did. Hit the subscribe button if you're around here. We're making that push to 8K subs right now. And I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Thank you very much, and goodbye.